Everybody, it's nice to see you. Hopefully it's nice to see me too. I just want to talk a few minutes today about God's provision. In Connect groups we've been looking at God's provision. We're looking at Exodus, and today's reading was from Exodus 16, and it was talking about how God provided manna and quail in the desert for the Israelites. And it made me think about God's provision at this time. It's a very strange and unsure time, but God is still providing for us daily. And I was thinking, what am I thankful for God's provision for? What has God provided for me? And these last few weeks of me, it's been my garden. I've spent a lot of time in the garden with Paul doing some work and a project building a little decking area. And I'm thankful for this time, because usually Paul's busy everywhere and he hasn't got time to give me to do projects like this. I'm thankful for FaceTime and for connections with people. It's been lovely to have coffee chats with people and family chats and FaceTime. I'm thankful for connections, for just being able to connect with each other through Sunday services and Connect group and all those things. But then it got me thinking about provision. How can we be God's provision to people? And that could be so easily done by a phone call, or a text message, or a FaceTime. Or we could go that little step further and we could do shopping for our neighbours. At the moment I'm knitting hearts for the hospital, for families and people who are really, really unwell, and one has a heart with the person that's poorly and the family has a heart to remind them of them. And we've got very close to our neighbours who we have hardly had any time with. And it's been really nice to connect with them, and I shared all about church and what we do at church with them, which I've never had that opportunity to do before. Sometimes you could just be a friendly face, and that's God's provision for them for that day. But also while we've been studying, I led the study this week, and while we were studying, it talked about in Exodus 16:33 to 35 that God commanded them to put some of this manna in a jar and to keep it as a reminder of what God has done for them and the provision of God. And I was thinking, what would be in our manna jar at this time? And that's a question I'm asking you. What would you put in your jar to remind you of what God's provided for you in this time? For me, it would be friends. It would be, I put pictures of friends in my manna jar to remind me of all the people who love me, who are in my life and are very special to me, and who take time to just contact me and say, how are you doing, are you fine? Because God is a God of relationship, and we can still have a relationship with each other daily. Even though we can't meet at church and we can't meet at Connect group, we can still meet through FaceTime and through online stuff. So far, I thank you for this time, and I just pray that it's been a blessing to you.